Sahana bhavatu sahano bhunaktu sahaviryam karavavahai tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May Brahman protect us, may he guide us, may he give us strength and right understanding. May love and harmony be with us all. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. Vedantasara of Sadananda Yogendra. In our last class we talked about ignorance. How ignorance covers Brahman, Atman. We talked about collective ignorance and individual ignorance, like forest and individual trees. If the sum total of individual trees is the forest, a lake and the small drops of water. The lake is nothing but the sum total of drops of water. So this teacher of Vedanta is trying to explain this ignorance. But Swami, what is the necessity of knowing this ignorance? As you remember, the teacher already mentioned that I am going to explain to you this Vedanta philosophy through superimposition and desuperimposition. How your Atman, your pure consciousness is covered by ignorance, and how to remove that ignorance from the Atman. This is the method he will adopt in this book. So he is now trying to tell us that how your inner, your real nature, that Atman, pure consciousness, has been covered. In that context, he is now trying to explain what is God. People have peculiar ideas about God. Iyam shamashtihi uta utkrishto upaditaya vishuddha sattva pradhana. This aggregate of ignorance, on account of its appearing associated with perfection, pure intelligence of Brahman, has a preponderance of pure sattva. The meaning is this: ignorance, as we have seen before, has collective as well as separate existence. The collective ignorance is superior to the individual ignorance because the former is associated with Brahman and the latter with individual soul. Now please try to understand God according to Vedanta. Vishuddha Sattva Pradhana. Please try to conceive this way. Vast ocean. A part of the ocean is agitated and creates waves. This wavy part of the ocean is Ishvara, God. But the whole part of the ocean is not, the other parts of the ocean are not agitated. Below, at the bottom of the ocean, calm, serene, there is no agitation. So you see, in the part of the ocean we find agitated, creates various kinds of waves. So this wavy aspect of this Brahman, this vast ocean, is Ishvara. This, please show me, why does it agitate? Nobody knows. If you really want to know that mystery, you transcend agitation, Maya. Then only we will know the mystery. Staying in the realm of ignorance, you cannot explain ignorance. Living in darkness, you cannot explain darkness. You will have to bring light. So if you really want to understand this play of Maya, you will have to transcend Maya. Maya means ignorance. Maya means which limit the infinite. God, Vishuddha Sattva Pradhana. This Maya consists of three qualities. Sattva, which is light, calmness. Rajas, which is activity, restlessness. Tamas, dullness, inertia. Whatever you see in this world is made with these three gunas, three qualities, sattva, rajas, tamas. Now this God is Vishuddha Sattva Pradhana, preponderance of sattva quality. Rajas and tamas are there. I remember our teacher gave an example. Here is a 1000-watt electric bulb. You see a lot of light. But on the top there is a tar mark, and another two places there are some tars, black tar, through which the light cannot come out. So that is there. But it does not stop the light. You do not feel that little bit rajas and tamas. You do not feel it. Try to think God that way. Electric bulb, 1000 watts, very powerful, luminous. A little two dark points are there, but it does not disturb the light. He is God, who has full control over his Maya. Pure Sattva. Brahman associated with the aggregate of ignorance has three qualities, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, whose effects are seen in the acts of creation, preservation and destruction. Through Rajas, Brahma creates. Through Sattva, Vishnu preserves, protects, sustains. And through Tamas, Shiva destroys. The word Sattva is used in the text not to denote any particular activity of Ishvara, but to signify that the power of ignorance cannot delude him. You see, among human beings, you will find various kinds of human beings. Some are very lazy, they are full of tamas. Some are very active, alcoholic, workaholics. They are full of restlessness. Their minds are full of restlessness. And some are calm, serene, Sattvic people also we find in the society. Sattva guna, very close to God. The people who develops the Sattva quality, they are very close. This is godly qualities. Etad upahitam chaitanyam sarvajñatva sarveshwaratva sarvaniyantritva gunam abhyaktam antaryami jagatkaranam ishvara iti cha vyapodishyati sakala ajnana avavashagatvat ya sarvajño sarvavid. Consciousness associated with this is endowed with such qualities as omniscience, universal lordship, all-controlling power, etc., and is designated as the undifferentiated, the inner guide, the cause of the world, and Ishvara, on account of its being the illuminator of the aggregate of ignorance, as in the Shruti passage, who knows all generally, who perceives all particularly. These are the epithets of God. We do not have any concept. So, the author is trying to give us some ideas about God. People want to think about God, think this way. This pure consciousness, this cosmic consciousness, when it is associated with ignorance, he is endowed with these qualities. You see, in Christian tradition, God has no form, but God has many qualities. All-powerful, omniscient, omnipresent, compassionate, all-loving. These are the epithets the people try to think of God through the qualities. So he is now talking about Sarvajna, first quality. Omniscient, he knows everything. Yes, you have a body, you know everything about your body, which is my body. Anybody touches, you know it. So this whole cosmos is his body, he knows it. The thing which you create, you know everything about it. This house, you build this house. So you know from the scratch, you know everything about the house. So this universe is his house. He knows everything. Sarvajna. Sarvabit, he knows individually. Because each being is his creation. And nowadays it is easy to understand God through computer, you see. That big computer. Each person has a place in that hard disk, and God knows everything. The computer knows everything. If the computer has any brain. Sarvajna, to Sarveshwaratta, lordliness, he rules. If he does not rule, there will be chaos. How does he rule? Reward, punishment, all these Christian people believe that way, If you do good, God will reward you. If you do wrong, God will punish you. He rules so that everything goes very methodically. The sun rises every morning, sets in the evening, the moon moves around, right? The rain comes, then season changes. Everything comes just right. Birth, death, everything moves very methodically, systematically. There is a tremendous rhythm in nature. He rules it. So there is no chaos. We create chaos. But does God create chaos? Universal Lordship. It is Ishvara who gives reward and punishment to the finite beings according to the merits of their work. He gives the results of our actions. The Mimamsa school believes that whatever we do, the result, each karma and its result, create an apurva, unseen. Apurva means it has not been money. Everything goes and is deposited there, That is, try to understand this way. Our actions, the results of our actions, everything go there. All controlling power, because Ishvara is the director of the mental propensities of the finite beings. Antaryami. No, Sarva Niyantritvat. He controls everything. Sri Ramakrishna used to say, we are all puppets. As the puppet player as he moves the dolls with his fingers, and all these dolls, puppets dance. So we are like that. We are all puppets. We are all dolls in the hand of God. Oh, you are jumping too much. Stop. Now you jump. You have too much ego. You cannot work. Sit down. You are growing too much. He plays. I have seen some people have tremendous, capacity, learning, but God does not use them. Too much ego. If you really want to work for God, first remove your ego, be humble. I sometimes give this illustration. If there is some stuff, mud or something inside the flute, you cannot play, you cannot make any sound. If inside is clear, you can play various ragas, raginis, various notes on your flute. So if too much ego, that rubbish stuff inside, God will not use you, will not work through you. Sometimes I have seen some workers, good worker, tremendous ego. I used to tell them that, in our language there is a funny expression. Here is a big jar of milk, which is very good, nutritious, nourishing. But if one drop of urine, cow urine, falls into the milk, the whole milk breaks. It becomes bad immediately. So a person, many good qualities, but a little ego, that ruins that person's entire work. It destroys. God checks ego. Where there is ego, he cannot work with that person. And that person has endless suffering. All-controlling power, designated as the undifferentiated, Avyakta. Avyakta means unmanifested, creation has not yet begun, you see. In God, creation has not yet begun. Undifferentiated, unmanifest. We read in the Purusha Suktam of the Rig Veda, one Tripadoissa Amritam Devi, Padoissa Vishwabhutani, Tripadoissa Amritam Devi. 1/4 of that Brahman has been manifested as the universe and beings. 3/4 are still unmanifest. Avyaktam. Next, Antaryami. Sitting inside, God controls, knows, watches everything as a witness. You cannot cheat yourself. Hiding, you may think that I have done something, nobody has seen it, I am all right. You cannot cheat yourself. He is the witness. He is watching our every action, every thought. He is monitoring everything. He does not make mistake. I remember when I was working, I had an assistant. And when he's an old Muslim, I asked, hey, why do you make so many mistakes? Then he says, sir, two persons do not make mistake, God and the Satan. God is omniscient, he doesn't make mistake, and Satan does not admit his mistake. I am a human being, I make mistake. I could not say anything to him. The person who is weak, you will find he will always defend his mistakes. And that person never improves. He remains the same stupid. We are human beings, we make mistakes. We must correct ourselves and improve ourselves. Antarjami. Antarjami means He knows everything about yourself. You will not have to tell God, God, please do this, do that. He knows what you need. Jagat Karanam Ishvara. He is the cause of this universe. He is the source. Ishvara. This is a very important word in Vedanta, Ishvara, God. I was reading an article in the Vedanta Keshari, February 1996. One of our nuns in Santa Barbara wrote an article, Children Talk About God. Just it arrived today. School children, 8 years, 9 years, 10 years, 12 years old, in different churches in Santa Barbara area, and some in India, they send these questionnaires to these children and write what they think about those things. What is God? Where is God? What does God look like? Do you talk to God? Does God talk to you? Do you like God? How does God help you in your life? If there was no God, what would life be like? Why must we pray? How do you pray? Does God answer our prayers? What is religion? How do you practice religion? How has your practice of religion helped you? These are the questions. But I was reading, already I read quite a bit, that what is God? These little children, they put in the bracket that age group, 8, 12, 9, 11, like this age group, their expressions about God. A girl, 8 years old, in the names, they put also names there, Mirella, the Holy Spirit and a very nice man, Chelsea, the leader of all religions, Matthew, 9, the creator of the universe, Lakshmi, 11. God is always pure and truthful. We are His children. He is our Father. He likes good people. He teaches the bad ones lessons. Rajkumar, 12. God takes many forms and appears in various forms to various people. An anonymous girl. The Lord is a real big man. He has to be to explain the way things are. Hari Prashna. God is a protector and creator. He is the surveyor of all the life beings present in the world. In my opinion, I can frankly say that He is invisible and is found everywhere. He is our bench. He is in our bench. He is in a pillar. He is in a playground, and He is also in our heart, in your heart. Stephen 8. God is spirit that made us, the world and part of the universe. Sanjay 10. God is the one who is inside our body. He does everything. He is marvelous. Gayatri. God is someone who makes all life possible. He is one of my best friends. He will not go away from me because He is in all the things. An anonymous boy. I don't know if there is a God, but I have wondered what would happen to me if He was real and He knew I was not on His side. A.B. I think God is everything. V.G. 12 years old. I think that God is just our belief. We can only worship Him or her and cannot see Him or her in real life. If we want, we can see Him or her in our dreams. I believe that everything in the earth is God, is a God, like books, etc. Some people don't believe in God, and some think that it is only superstition. Gokul Krishna, 12. God has divine power, and I have seen God. Roji. God is our heavenly Father. Carl, I wonder whether God needs to eat or drink. An anonymous girl, he is a companion who won't leave. In this way, they long list that how the children think about God. Good. The word Ishvara, popularly known as God, has a peculiar meaning in the Advaita philosophy. The Vedantist does not believe Ishvara to be the absolute existence because he is as unreal as the phenomenal universe. Brahman associated with ignorance is known as Ishvara. The difference between Ishvara and the ordinary man is that the former, though associated with Maya, is not bound by its fetters, whereas the latter is its slave. Ishvara is the highest manifestation of Brahman in the phenomenal universe. Ishvara. Vedanta wants to keep a little separation from Ishvara and Brahman. Ishvara means name and form. Name and form means it changes, changing reality. Brahman is the unchanging reality. Master Eckhart, for that reason, separated God from Godhead. Godhead is just like Brahman. God is the creator, preserver, destroyer, as we think about Ishvara. Now, God is both immanent and transcendent. He manifests everything. This whole creation is His manifestation, His body. He creates out of Himself, like a spider makes the cobweb out of its own body. Like God created everything from its own, from His own Maya. It is hard to conceive, In Mundaka Upanishad there is a mantra. His one eye is the sun, one eye is the moon, his head is the blazing fire, his breath is the air, his speech is the Vedas. With his 2 feet he engulfed, he covered the entire universe. Can you establish relationship with a person whose one eye is the sun, another eye is the moon? That is the conception of the Virat, cosmic being. Very difficult. For that reason, Sri Ramakrishna said it is easy to establish relationship with an avatar when God comes as a human being, like Christ, Buddha, Krishna, Ramakrishna. You can establish relationship. This God in Vedanta is called Shagun Brahman, Brahman with qualities. Same God, in Christianity they call God, in Islam they call him Allah, Aur Mazda. There are many names. The Jews call him Jehovah, the Greeks, Jews, the Romans, Jupiter, the Persians, Ahur Mazda, the Muslims, Allah, the Christians, God. They mean same Ishvara, according to Vedanta. You see, all this Judeo-Christian and Islamic tradition, we find God as the Father, male principle. But in Hinduism, God is can be both male and female. God can be Shakti, Divine Mother, Kali, Durga, various gods and goddesses. You see, the concept of gender, he or she, begins when you have a physical body. God is spirit. He does not have any body. How can you put that whether he is he or she? He, she question arises when you have a human body, when you have a body. God does not have any body. So the Hindus are tricky. Their Brahman is neuter, neither he nor she. God, they say, some people think God as Divine Mother, some people think God as Vishnu, Rama, that doesn't matter. Male and female, they just according to their way, they try to establish relationship, which is fine. Shakti, Aishwarya, he has all power. He dispenses the result of action. He controls everything in this universe. He saves the holy, he punishes the unholy. Swami Vivekananda made a beautiful remark about avatar. Try to understand this way. During summer, when the sun shines on the equator perpendicular way, then what happens? That place becomes so hot that the atmosphere becomes lighted and it evaporates, it goes upward. Then do you know what happens? From the North Pole and the South Pole, this cold wave comes to cover that place. For the reason, at that time you will find tremendous rainfall on the equator and the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. That area will find heavy rainfall. Because when in St. Louis also you experience, if too much hot, you know thunderstorm is coming from the Canada side. Because this place, this atmosphere becomes light. Air becomes light, so the heavy cold wind comes to fill up that gap. Similarly, in this world, time to time we find there is no spirituality, too much materialism. So it loses the balance. At that time, spiritual power comes to fill up that gap. As we find the adjustment in the atmospheric plane, same way we find the adjustment in the spiritual plane, material plane, adjustment. That is the way in the scientific way Swamiji explained what is avatar. Christ, Buddha, Ramakrishna, why do they come? To adjust between materialism and the spirituality. It is very, you can feel it, you can see it. That is the way it works. Too much materialism, chaos, there is no peace in human mind, they are restless. At that time, a peace comes from that area where there is peace. Ishvara Maheshwara Tam Ishvaranam Paramam Maheshwaram. Brahman is the final cause. God is the cause. Ishwaresiyam samasti akhila karanatvat karana shariram ananda prachuratvat koshavat achadakatvat anandamaya kosha sarva uparamatvat sushupti ata eva sthula shukshma prapancha layasthanam iti uchati. This aggregate of ignorance associated with Ishvara is known as the causal body on account of its being the cause of all, and as the Andamaya Kosha, blissful sheath, on account of its being full of bliss and covering like a sheath. It is further known as the cosmic sleep, as into it everything is dissolved and for that reason it is designated as the state of dissolution of the gross and subtle phenomena. Ishwarasya yam samashti akhila karanatvat. He is the cause. Please show me, what does it mean by cause? The cause means the cause, the source of creation. Please show me, what does it mean? What does it mean to me? That means you are created by God, you are with God all the time. But we do not feel it. Because we are ignorant. It is ignorance which created the barrier between God and me. But ignorance is not visible. Do you know what is visible? Ego. Human ego. That is a wall that separates us from God. The moment ego dissolves, we become one with God. Karanatvat, karano shariram. Please, I have a chart I made for you. I think still some are there. If you do not have, please pick them up. I made 4 pages for you so that you can understand Vedanta at a glance. There are 3 bodies to Ishvara, to all of us. The gross body, this physical sheath, subtle body and the causal body. Causal body is made only out of ignorance. The subtle body is made out of subtle substance. We shall discuss those things, that thing later. And gross body is made with gross elements. So this, now we are talking about subtle body, made only with ignorance. You have a subtle body, I have a causal body. When do you experience your causal body? In deep sleep. At that time you have no knowledge about your gross body, you have no knowledge about your subtle body. At that time you are one with causal body. Do you know what that means? It means you go to God every night. Without knowing, you just become one with God. And then you come back. Example, you are sleeping in the train. You want to go to Kansas City. The train went to Kansas City and came back again to St. Louis. You are sleeping. You are completely unaware that you really reached Kansas City. That is a good example. When you are asleep, you really reach God. But do you know why do you not know it? Because you went through ignorance, through inertia, through sleep. You can reach the same state through meditation. That's the difficult one. Karana shariram ananda prachuratvat kushavad achadagatvat anandamaya kusha. In this book you will find the 5 sheaths of the soul. The physical sheath, the vital sheath, the mental sheath, the intellectual sheath, and blissful sheath. Blissful sheath means only the one covering on Brahman or the Atman. For that reason, there is tremendous joy. In sleep, there is so much joy. You have no family problem, no stomach problem, no mental problem, nothing of the sort. You only sleep. There is so much joy in peace. Anandamaya kosha, ananda, prachuratvat. Lot of joy, lot of bliss. Ataiva sthula shukshma prapanchalaya sthanam iti cha uchati. That means a gross universe merges into subtle universe, and the subtle universe merges into causal universe. Prapanchalaya, at that time this whole world disappears from your minds. For the reason you get peace, joy. This world, this creation is the problem. I had an interview with a person who invested money in the share market and that person was telling me, Swami, some days I am happy, some days I am unhappy. Always watching my shares. It is greed, I know, but I cannot get rid of it. I am attached. Very frank person. I am attached to my money. And how miserable I am. If I see my prices are going up, I am happy. The day my shares go down, I am unhappy. This gross universe, all its problems, this subtle universe, mental universe, and all its problems disappear the moment you merge into sleep, deep sleep. In the beginning, when I was studying Vedanta in the early days, this waking, dreaming, and sleeping, these three states of human beings, did not make any importance, did not convince me that it is very important. Oh, it is regular thing. We, in waking state, we move in this world, we perceive the world through the senses, enjoy it. In dream state, even we do some daydream through things, through thoughts also we function. And we go to sleep and we came back. It is a regular thing. What is the philosophy behind these things we don't understand? My goodness, when I started this Mandukya Upanishad, I realized what a profound philosophy behind these three states. You see, the Western psychology talks about conscious, that means waking state, subconscious, unconscious. They do not talk about superconscious. Because scientifically they can analyze these three things: conscious, subconscious, unconscious. There is a superconscious. If you want to experience that superconscious, you will have to transcend this relative consciousness. That one is difficult. Still we are talking about, you see, always remember, Maya has two powers: veiling power, concealing power, and projecting power. We are now talking about the veiling, concealing power. That is not bad. That is sleep state. Problem begins the moment Maya starts to project. Projection comes. In causal state, everything is one. There is no variety. In deep sleep, all are one. At that time, we are all with God. sleeping with him or in him. All one in deep sleep. The moment waking state, the dream state, the subtle state and the gross state, at that time we see multiplicity, variety, diversity. Problem begins at that time. In deep sleep, you are not my enemy, I am not your friend. We are all one. There is no friendship and enmity in deep sleep. There is no high and low in deep sleep. There is no greed, lust, anger, jealousy, nothing of the sort in deep sleep. What a wonderful state. Well, Swami, let us all take the pills and go to sleep. Or Boston Swami called me today and he was telling, brother, do you know how do I feel? That our Swami in Portland is not doing very good. He is not eating. He is 96 years old, Holy Mother's disciple in Portland. So I talked to the Boston Swami about him and he was telling, brother, I have a philosophy. Well, what is your philosophy, Swami? Well, after 80 years, take a pill. Keep a pill with you. If you don't feel good, take that pill and die. Well, that will reduce the cost of the nursing home and the hospital and the Medicaid. The American government will be saved. He is funny. Pill after 80. One pill. Funny. यथा वनस्य वेष्टि अभिप्रायेण वृक्ष इति अनेकत्व व्यापदेश यथा वा जलशयस्य वेष्टि अभिप्रायेण जलानीति तथा अज्ञानस्य वेष्टि अभिप्रायेण तदेक अनेकत्व व्यापदेश इंद्रो मायावी पुरुरूपयते इत्यादि श्रुतेः. As a forest, from the standpoint of the units that compose it, may be designated as a number of trees, and as a reservoir, from the same point of view, may be spoken of as quantities of water, so also ignorance, when denoting separate units, is spoken of as many, as in such Shruti passages as Indra through Maya appears as of many forms. One becomes many. Swami Turiyananda once went to San Francisco to see a ballet, and a girl was dancing, and on the stage there are 7 mirrors, and that one girl looked like 7 girls dancing on the stage. Swami immediately pointed out, that is Maya. How the one has become many through these reflections. Look, that one girl looks 7 girls on the stage because of the setting of the glasses, the mirrors. Brahman has become many. God took these multiple forms through ignorance. When ignorance goes away, diversity, multiplicity also disappears. How shall we destroy this duality, diversity, multiplicity? Well, shall we throw some atom bombs and make everything even? It will not work. Throw the atom bomb on your mind. Well, Swami, we cannot see it. You cannot kill the atom mind through the atom bomb. You can kill the physical body, but not that mind. Just see. Sometimes I say that, American people, I do not know who invented the vacuum cleaner. Whether American people or European people, I do not know. Anyhow, if Sri Ramakrishna would see vacuum cleaner, who made it? Do you remember? Do you know who invented vacuum cleaner? So, if Sri Ramakrishna would see the vacuum cleaner, he would merge into Samadhi. Well, look how beautifully they take all the germs. If they could if they could invent a machine which can vacuum, take the dirt of the mind, how wonderful it would be. We would not have to practice any spiritual disciplines. Just go for the seer's shop or wherever, Well, vacuum, we can vacuum the mind. $100 fee. I shall go there. Well, vacuum my mind. Make the mind clean. Not so easy. As I was talking, one devotee had an interview with a person. What do you do, Swami? I watch my breath. I watch my mind. That I do. They were practicing some kind of Buddhist disciplines, Then when I came back to my room, I was thinking, I watch my body weight, I watch my breath, I watch my mind, I watch my I watch my neighbor, but I do not watch my Atman. We are watching Maya. For the reason we are body conscious. Transcend the body idea. Transcend the body consciousness if you want to be spiritual. That we don't understand. Body. I was reading the Deepak Chopra's book. In old age also you will get good health, and old age and spirituality, 10 spiritual rules. People buy those things very well because it helps. We have a desire to live long, we have a desire to remain youthful. Good program. But he is helping a lot of people. Good book. Very nicely written. Atra Vyasto Shamasto Vyapitina Vyasti Shamistyatta Vyapadesha. Ignorance has been designated as individual and collective on account of its pervading the units and the aggregate. God does not have any mind, because mind begins in the subtle body. He is in causal state. Ishwar, God is like an image, and this form, that form. These are all the imagination of human beings. God is formless. But God is not eternal. In the cosmic dissolution, God merges into Brahman. Example, when the all waves subside, only ocean remains. As I told you, wavy ocean is God. And when there is no ocean, Sri Ramakrishna gave a beautiful example. Here is a big python, motionless python, that is Brahman. When that python moves forward and creates, does everything, that is God. Same, God and Brahman, same. When in God there is action, in Brahman there is no action. In the body of God there is a change, in Brahman there is no change. God has name and form, in Brahman there is no name and form. God is, as I told you, preponderance of Sattva quality. Where there is Sattva quality, there is joy. Where is Rajas, misery, Tamas, more misery. Up to this tonight, if you have any questions, please ask.
Would you explain more about collective ignorance?
Collective ignorance. Collective ignorance. We understand individual ignorance. Your ignorance, my ignorance, and is sum total of this individual ignorance is called collective ignorance. Please, Swami, could you explain a little bit further? What do you mean? A cowherd boy took his cows to the meadow for grazing. Many cowherd boys brought their cows and the calves in that big meadow, in that pasture for grazing. In the evening, this cowherd boy wants to come back with his cow and calf, and there are perhaps thousands of cows and the calves are mixing together in that place. The moment the mother cow makes noise, sound, immediately that calf knows my mother is calling. That calf comes and comes to the mother and returns with the cowherd boy. So what happens in deep sleep, that is the cosmic ignorance, that all jivas, all beings at that time want to sleep. It's cosmic illusion, cosmic ignorance. And then when they get up early in the morning, from that cosmic ignorance, it attracts its own individual ignorance and comes back and returns to his or her own place. That is one example I can give. Or I gave another example, that forest. That is collective ignorance. Individual ignorance is the particular tree. For the reason in Vedanta there are two schools. They call it Apachedavad and Pratibimbavad. What is Apachedavad? This tree is occupying a little space. This tree is occupying a little space. This tree is occupying a little space. So sum total of this whole space is the cosmic ignorance. Same thing, Pratibimbavad, reflection. One drop of water, one drop of water, one drop of water. Then these billion drops of water made that reservoir. That is the reservoir is the collective, and individual water drops are individual. That is the way we explain. But it is, but Swami, can you differentiate this thing which has no, form, nothing of this? But we work that way. This chapel space, shrine space, my room space, the bathroom space, the kitchen space, dining space, and bookshop space, library space, all space. All these names are connected with the rooms. You just destroy all these walls and the roof, it becomes one space. That is the way we explain. Cosmic space is cosmic, but we individualized this way through the name and form. That is the way we explain.
You described Brahman as being existence, knowledge, and bliss.
Mm-hmm.
And you're saying that bliss is in the last covering that covers Brahman.
Blissful sheath is the last covering that covers Brahman. Right. How does it? That is bliss absolute. You see, in Brahman there is no covering. When the Brahman embraces